Now, as you look at your life, you may not consider yourself particularly righteous. You may not consider yourself particularly good as you look at your life. Perhaps you're aware of your shortcomings. I certainly am. Perhaps you're aware of the things that you've done wrong. Maybe even this week. The times that you've hurt people. You've said things you shouldn't have said. Perhaps you're even aware of perhaps the good things that you've done that have been mixed with perhaps very mixed motives at times. But God considers us as godly and as righteous in his sight this morning. How can that be? Well, not on the basis of our own good works, not on the basis of the stuff that we have done. We could never do enough to be right before a perfect, holy and righteous God. Even our good works could never get us to God. And yet, there was someone, verse 3, who's been set apart by the Lord, who is godly. And it's not just David. It's, of course, David's greater son, who lived 1,000 years after David. It's Jesus. Jesus is the one who ultimately has been set apart by God for a particular role, as the royal king, the Messiah who would come into the world. He's the one who is godly. He's the one who is perfect and righteous and pure. He always kept God's word. He kept himself unstained by the world. And if we have Jesus, if we have faith in him, if we trust in him, if we're united to him, this is true for us this morning. Verse 3. We are set apart by God and considered as godly, with a status of righteous before God. Not because of the stuff we have done, despite all the stuff that we have done, but because of what Jesus has done. And this morning it means you can be confident that you stand before God with a perfect status if you have his son Jesus, because he's the one who's been set apart. And if you have Jesus, you have that.